Mr. President talks about some of the violence that's been going on around the country at dealerships. Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. We catch any.
That's amazing. That is a phenomenally strong statement right there.
When you do that, those people are going to go through a big problem when we catch them. And
the biggest issue for the left isn't just that they're going to be arrested. It's that they're just now viewed as enemies of civilization and human thriving. That's a much, much more serious problem than some degenerate freak activist getting arson charges and going away for a decade. The optics of the left funding crime, funding literal arson, soon to be terrorism, on an American company. There's just no way to explain that. In response to the left's violent and extreme attacks against Tesla, Donald Trump has just driven and gotten out of a Tesla Model S Plaid with Elon Musk. And this is one of the most perfect resolutions to leftist insanity that was actually determined by the leftist insanity itself. Democrats have played themselves yet again. Sheer violence and the narcissistic psychopathy that they have to ignore the law and believe themselves to be superior to every single person who's not in their cult, as well as any company, that's especially psychopathic, any company that dares not bow to them. They've just ensured that the #1 clean energy company in America is firmly and culturally in the hands of the right. I mean, they just gave it away officially. Teslas are now MAGA cars. And plenty of liberals will continue to drive them, basically representing the fact that the radical, extreme, and insane left is ridiculous and insane for funding literal crimes and arson and all the rest of the deranged tape that I showed you in yesterday's video against Tesla. I haven't seen this video. This is literally breaking news. It's happened less than an hour ago. Let's see what's going on.
Thank you. Let me get into this sector. I'll watch Secret Service go crazy. Thank you.
I mean, if you actually drove it around, it would really be wild.
It is beautiful. Wow. Tesla Model S's are beautiful cars. Let's listen to what Trump says.
Wow.
I get on this other side.
That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. That's beautiful.
It's so fitting that the company that the left would be most enraged by is by far the most superior company of any other car maker from a technological perspective in terms of it just being undeniably the best. And it fits perfectly in alignment with their resentment for the most competent men of Earth and total masculinity and meritocracy. The left is diametrically opposed to anything that points to excellence, because excellence references the objective nature of reality that has been transcended to render order to society. And they are opposed to literally every aspect of that, from order to objective reality, because all they believe in is their cult-like ideology, which tells them the cult is the only way of being a good person and harnessing virtue. And so obviously meritocracy flies in the face of that. And so what you're witnessing here is diametrical opposition to reality and excellence. This is why I said in yesterday's video, this is not about politics, because if you notice, the left is just opposed to everything good, from excellence to capitalism to masculinity to the best cars on the market to the most competent men running government and ending corruption. And so what this has done is it's taken honestly a spiritual matter of good versus evil and transplanted it onto the domain of politics, where now, as a result of the left just opposing everything good, the right is now embodying everything good, which is just the opposite of the left. Ultra competent masculinity, free speech, logic and reason. This is what I wish people would have said on the Piers Morgan interview when they were discussing Andrew Tate being in Nevada. And that might seem like a strange connection, but I'll explain exactly why. There are people, including even on the right, who don't understand the new version of the right that exists, which is that we are now the party of reality. We're the party that cares about free speech. If this is the Republican Party used to be about family values, about, one man, one woman, having a family, and basically being left alone. It's now so much more than that. Obviously, since Trump and Elon have numerous kids with different women, which is, I think, what a lot of people forget when they talk about Tate. But the Republican Party is now the party of free speech. It's the party of capitalism. It's the party of smaller government. It's the party of family values still, with some maybe slight modifications for the men in the 0.01%. It's the party of logic, reason, rationality, dialogue, sanity, inclusiveness that's exactly what you're seeing with the big tent, with people from Nick Fuentes to Tulsi Gabbard to RFK. I mean, radical free speech, something the left is totally distanced themselves from, slandered, demonized. Actually, what you're witnessing is incredible. It is the realigning of the Republican Party with reality itself.
That's beautiful.
Can you start it?
Should I? Let's hear the engine.
There is no engine. It's a Tesla.
Oh,
You gonna get it wrapped in gold?
So, do you want to actually drive it?
You don't want me to drive it, do you?
I saw Biden do a
I'll tell you,
test
it
loop
could
here
be-
once in the Jeep.
Yeah, but
Very easy.
that's you're the only one that saw it.
So it's like driving a golf cart, basically.
Very simple.
It's very simple. So it's literally like a golf cart that goes really fast. There's no gears.
This is really amazing.
That's what everyone says who gets in a Tesla. Again, the left is enraged by the objective excellence of their opposition because it references reality.
Mr. President, you gonna get it wrapped in gold?
Think Biden could get into that car? No, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Mr. President talks about some of the violence that's been going on around the country at dealerships. Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. We catch any.
That's amazing. That is a phenomenally strong statement right there. Trump just said any person that vandalizes a Tesla is going to be labeled a terrorist. Wow.
Everybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. You know, I've stuck up for the NFL. I've stuck up for a lot of American companies and other companies, but American companies. I did a very big favor for the NFL. I do favors for all. When you heard an American company, especially a company like this, supplies so many jobs that others are unable to do, when you do that, those people are going to go through a big problem when we catch them. And
The biggest issue for the left isn't just that they're going to be arrested, it's that they're just now viewed as enemies of civilization and human thriving. That's a much, much more serious problem than some degenerate freak activist getting arson charges and going away for a decade. The optics of the left funding crime, funding literal arson, soon to be terrorism, on an American company. There's just no way to explain that. And leftists are very silent on X when you confront them about it.
we have you got a lot of cameras up. We already know who some of them are. We're going to catch them. And they're bad guys. They're the same guys that screw around with our schools and universities, the same garbage. And we're going to catch them. And let me tell you, you do it to Tesla and you do it to any company, we're going to catch you and you're going to go through hell.
Mr. President.
This is bulletproof.
I mean,
Bro, they got a Cybertruck too. Yo, oh my gosh, the left is gonna lose their minds, and they're being held to justice for their crimes as well. Oh my gosh. Remember, they are at war with objective category. No wonder their approval ratings are at 31%, probably even lower now.
look, in terms of imagination, I think I have a great imagination. Who else but this guy would design this and everybody on the road is looking at it? It's amazing, actually.
Beautiful.
As soon as I saw it, I said, that is the coolest design. It's. Do you agree with that, Brian? I mean,
I do.
It's amazing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You got to give him credit.
We want the future to look like the future, and it's kind of what kind of truck would Blade Runner drive? That was the design idea.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Elon, are you planning to remain CEO of Tesla while working with President Trump? Is there any thinking on your future at the company? As we're talking about Tesla, I'm wondering where you're thinking is.
This is by far the best reality imaginable. Utter accountability and consequences and judgment for the left, while complete masculine competence is reigning supreme and making America great. Who could be opposed to this? Only weak, pathetic, cowardly, destroyed people. That's who.
With leading the company going forward?
And I think what we're seeing now is that these people are just going to be left behind forever, which is really important because for a long time we were battling them. I still feel like we're battling them sometimes, but now they're just so self-evidently absurd and reduced to ridiculousness. And I think you saw Gavin Newsom, a figurehead for this degeneracy, even admit this when he couldn't disagree with Charlie Kirk and had to agree with what Charlie Kirk was saying from leftists don't engage in free speech and dialogue. That interview's been playing in my head for the last couple of days, realizing how seriously we beat these people. Gavin Newsom, someone who supports tyranny, was forced to admit that the left is failing. Incredible.
Yeah.
And no wonder. Look at what this is.
Tesla and
We should.
yeah.
Any more plans
How
of
we get
additional
your
vehicles
thoughts on the
besides the
market?
ones you have now?
Well,
New
we got
models?
the Cybercab coming out next year.
The
which
one with
is-
no steering wheel. You're gonna buy one of
No,
those?
sir, I will not.
We'll pass. We're too old fashioned.
Yeah.
Wait, did Trump just say we're too old for that shit? That's funny. I want to hear that. Let's hear that.
Buy one of
No,
those?
sir, I will not.
We'll pass. We're too old fashioned.
Yeah.
Yes,
So, Mr. President, when you look at the market selling off, that didn't concern you, and
Nope,
where do you see it
doesn't
going?
concern me. I think some people are going to make great deals by buying stocks and bonds and all the things they're buying. I think we're going to have an economy that's
What's
a real
incredible too is the people who sell are going to lose and the people who buy are going to win because these men are right. That's so great.
economy, not a fake economy. It was a fake economy. They were putting in all government jobs. You see what happened last month? We had more real jobs, and government jobs are way down. That's going to continue. Those are real jobs. Those are jobs that keep the country going. You can't have all government jobs. You have no income to pay the workers.
What really matters is moving people from jobs that are relatively low productivity in government to high productivity in the private sector, increasing the true output of products and services. That's the real economy.
That's right.
That's what actually enables Americans to have a higher standard of living, and that's what's happening. And that's, I think, you'll see the truth of that in the months to come.
And we're going to make it really much stronger by taking people that don't exist or taking people that shouldn't be there out, by taking illegal aliens that are on Social Security or Medicaid and Medicare. By taking them out, we're making it much stronger. The country will be much stronger, but it's going to really be stronger economically. And when you look at what we're doing, I've been called by so many companies. Yesterday, as you know, I had a meeting with some of the biggest tech companies in the world. And all they're talking about, IBM was there. We had a lot of them. Michael Dell was there. We had a lot of great companies, Hewlett Packard. And all they're talking about is investing in this country.
That's so incredible.
They want to be sure. Don't forget, they're looking down the road 10 years and 15 years. They want to make sure we have a strong country. They're all coming in. As you know, Apple,
Truly a golden age. We're being revitalized like never seen before.
Tim Cook, he said that he's going to invest $500 billion in the United States. He never did that before. He invested in China. He's got his plants in China. And now he's got them, going to be building them in the United States. And if I didn't have victory in that election, he wouldn't be doing it. And if I didn't say what I'm saying, and I'm being very honest, and it's much more difficult than just sitting around and having a great time. It's a very glamorous position if you want to do that. We could have kept it, but eventually bad things would have happened. This way, good things. I'm very optimistic about the country. I think we're going to have the greatest markets we've ever had.
Mr. President, do you think you buying a Tesla will boost Tesla sales and boost
Well, I
their
hope
stock?
it does. Look.
Was that your goal?
I
by
care
doing
about
this?
one thing. When
Bro,
somebody's
let's
a
check
great
the Tesla
patriot,
stock right now. I want to know if it's up or down. I want to see if leftists are like freaking out, selling their shares, or if it's up. Okay, it is up. It is up almost 10% today. That's funny.
they shouldn't be hurt. He's a great patriot. He didn't know me from Adam until we met a little bit when I was in my first term, but he came out, he endorsed me very strongly, and I admired that, I respected that, and I respected him for years, I respected him. And when there was a chance to help our government, you know, you're not going to use an average person. Some people would say, well, let's use somebody that failed in business for his whole life. You know, this guy has been amazing. And the kind of thinking is it's from a different age. It's really from a different age. When we said, let's cut 2%, he said, let's cut 60%. And he turned out to be right. And a lot of people are just not here. They don't work for us. I mean, they're getting checks and they don't work.
I just want to. I'll stay as long as it's useful and productive, and if I can help the country, I'll stay and do so.
Okay? Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, President Trump. President.
Thank you, President Trump.
Good looking guy.
Elon. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, and they got the Model Y lineup. Okay. Here's an announcement Elon made right after.
Make that very helpful.
This one's on X.
I want to say, as a function of the great policies of President Trump and his administration, and as an act of faith in America, Tesla is going to double vehicle output in the United States within the next 2 years. Double.
That's great. Thank you. And by the way, he makes one car. This one I don't understand. This one I don't want, but that's okay. Without a steering wheel. It comes out next year, right?
Yes.
Explain that, please.
Yes. Well, the Cybercab starts production in Texas next year, and it's self-driving. We have so much confidence in the self-driving nature of it that it'll actually not have a steering wheel. It will not have pedals. It'll either self-drive or not drive at all, but it'll self-drive.
And I'm going to pass on that particular.
I have an announcement to make that.
In conclusion, America is winning. The left is losing. The left has decided to make this evil versus good. And I wake up every day thankful that I'm on the right side of history and that I have my brain. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below.